Send him a message to see if he can get us on the phone. I don't know if we have him yet, but here's his live feed so far, and you can see he's headed that way. Of course, not even any rain here at the moment, and that may let a lot of folks get their guard down. You know, a lot of folks got things going on. It's Thursday night. You got some ball games and other stuff. Very, very important this evening that you pay attention to what's going on outside and weather-wise through the rest of the afternoon if you haven't gone out yet. I know a lot of the school system canceled afternoon and evening activities that were planned. It's probably a smart move, probably the best choice there, safety involved. But these storms really are starting to pick up quite a bit, and don't want to get too tunnel vision here. We do have some other storms that are beginning to show signs of rotation in the earlier stages back down to our south. So it's just something to keep an eye on. Again, we've got Brian Peters headed that way, and I've sent Brian a message. I don't know if he's called in yet. Do we have him in the back? No call yet? Okay. We'll send him another message here shortly and see if we can't get him on the phone. But looking back to the west, notice these storms, and I'm going to flatten this out. It'll give us a little bit better perspective of what we're seeing. Numerous severe thunderstorm warnings all back through Mississippi. These started out as a severe thunderstorm warning, actually upgraded to a tornado warning as that rotation became very, very prominent as it crossed over into Pickens and Lamar County. That's what we're seeing now. So we may see more of these tornado warnings, most likely as we head into the evening hours. This threat will exist all the way until about 4 or 5 a.m. tomorrow morning over in our southeastern counties. You've got storms developing out ahead of the line. We've got a squall line that'll come through later tonight, producing very heavy rainfall. Some folks will pick up anywhere from 4 to 5 inches of rain. Flash flooding threat is there. Of course, we have the tornado watch until 1 o'clock this morning. We've got the flash flood watch until we get into Saturday morning, as we do pick up even some more showers getting into Friday afternoon. The severe threat will be over Friday morning, but we could see some showers still lingering as late as Friday afternoon.
All right, we are at 6:38. I'm James Spann with Charles Daniel. Let's put the high-resolution radar behind me on the wall very quickly, and let me just show you what we have. This is a supercell thunderstorm with a possible tornado, and again, based on the images we have seen, there's a tornado there. We've actually seen photographs of this. It's come through New Hope, Mississippi, and you can see that it's now across the state line into extreme western Pickens County. The tornado is crossing US 82, very close, I would say maybe 1 or 2 miles east of the Alabama-Mississippi state line. It is very clear now that this tornado is not going to affect the city of Reform. And again, Reform is right here. That's the tornado. This is moving in this direction. So if you're in downtown Reform, we'll give you an all clear. And again, some of the older legacy warning systems warn county-wide. We don't warn by counties. We warn by polygons, small parts of counties. And again, that's going to be moving up into Lamar County. So we got Millport and Kennedy up here. So again, everybody that is in extreme northern Pickens and southern Lamar should be in a safe place right now. More than likely, we have some large hail falling in the storm right here. That's a hail core out ahead of this. So if you're basically in the path of this, you'll first off deal with heavy rain, large hail. You might see a break, and then a tornado is back here on the back side. While we got the high-resolution radar out, let me check the velocity display. And again, we're getting still evidence of a good circulation here. Maybe not as tight as we have seen in other scans, but there is no doubt there's the chance we've got a tornado down.
And we had confirmation from the EMA director in Pickens County. There was a touchdown. So.
Okay. So again, we have confirmation now that
That's Ken Gibson of the EMA director there at Pickens County.
Okay. And again, this is going to be cyclical. What happens, sometimes the tornado, an occlusion process occurs, the tornado is wrapped up in it, and it goes away, and then it recycles. I will say that it clearly doesn't look as organized now as it did maybe 5 or 10 minutes ago. But what happens when you've got storms like this that go through this cycle, these cyclic storms, you leave the warning up, because if you cancel the warning and it comes right back in 5 minutes, that's just not working. So again, the Weather Service is going to sit back and wait and see if it recycles. But again, the signature is certainly not as great as it was 5 minutes ago. But again, potential for a tornado in Pickens County, very close to or just north of U.S. Highway 82, just north of the Alabama-Mississippi state line. And again, that's going to keep on moving up in this direction, crossing into Lamar County. The two communities in Lamar County in the path of this, if it holds together, would be Millport and Kennedy, these two places right in through here. So the reason we are here, we have a tornado warning in effect for Pickens County. Let's expand this out. Let me show a big picture, because I know there are other people, we have other warnings in the state. We want to look at the other tornado warning, we have, Charles, down in the southwestern part of the state. And again, in fact, I will let you take a look at that down to the south. You can see this is a storm that at one point, it still has a tornado warning in effect. This is for northern Clark. This is Thomasville right down here. This is US 43. That's Dixon's Mills. Nanophilis, it's right up in here. That's Alabama Highway 25 from Dayton. And again, there's been evidence of that, and this is down in the Mobile television market. But again, that's to let you know that parts of Choctaw and Clark counties under a tornado warning as well. Other than that, we have no tornado warnings in the state. Let's look at a big picture. We'll just go statewide and just let you see the radar and pick out your hometown. All of the issues are over on the western side of the state. If you're in East Alabama, we have no problems. And the only warning in effect now for West Alabama is this one warning we have right here. That is a tornado warning for parts of northern Pickens and southern Lamar counties. All right. So Charles, I'll let you take it, and I'll handle the problem you got over there, and I'll fix that for you.
Yeah, we got to get Brian back on the air there. But right now, what we're dealing with, again, one tornado warning over for Pickens and Lamar County. We'll take a closer look and zoom in, and you can see it's becoming a little bit less favorable for what it looks like for the storms. But these storms have a tendency to really use up a lot of that energy. They kind of weaken, they take a little bit of a break, then they re-strengthen, and that's what we may see. So the signature here is not as good, and I'll be looking at it from both angles here, but what's going to happen is, as this moves into maybe southern parts of Fayette County, they've had a lot of sunshine there south of Fayette, this may begin to fire back up. So that's what we'll watch very closely. Folks in Millport, that doesn't mean you're in the clear. We could still have some circulation here, really, and it could at any time redevelop very quickly. This storm popped up in a matter of just a few scans, went from really not a healthy looking storm to a very healthy looking supercell with strong indications of rotation. So it went from a weak storm over in Mississippi, probably producing some large hail, to a tornadic supercell very, very quickly. And that's, I think, what we're going to see. Again, we've got that tornado watch until 1 a.m. this morning, with the flash flood watch until 1 a.m. Saturday morning. And you can see a lot of lightning with these storms. Not the best of ideas to be outside, even if there's not a warning out there. There's a lot of lightning with these storms, and that's also a hazard for us. And what's going to happen tonight, these storms, as this line begins to pick up, the front's still located well back to our west. You can see the back edge of these thunderstorms. What's developing out ahead of the front will have a tendency to rotate. The line, the squall line, comes together, pressing through overnight. That's going to produce a damaging straight line wind threat. Hail threat's going to be there through the evening hours in all storms. And then the tornado threat as we head into the early morning hours, again, until 1 a.m. That most likely will be expanded eastward. But as that squall line comes through, notice how a lot of these storms are moving over the same areas. We're going to get training thunderstorms that are going to produce very heavy amounts of rainfall over the same areas. So flash flooding is a very serious concern. We always see pictures and images of folks driving over roadways that are covered with water. If you can't see the road, don't drive through it. The Weather Service has a saying, turn around, don't drown, and they mean it. Very serious situation that we'll see. Unfortunately, a lot of that's going to be overnight tonight and early morning tomorrow. So you early morning commuters definitely need to be aware of that. Use extra caution. You're going to need a lot of extra travel time early tomorrow to get to work, because there's going to be a lot of water on those roadways tomorrow morning.
All right, and again, let's take Brian's live stream. Brian, I think, is in a pretty rural area, and again, you can see that his video is actually frozen, but he's obviously in a very heavy rain situation right there. Again, Brian is in the Benchmark Jeep Storm Chaser in the western part of the state. All right, yeah, let's roll some of the video if we can. This is going to be from eastern Mississippi, and again, this is video coming in from social media. And again, New Hope is just to the southeast of the city of Columbus. And again, that seems to be a fairly significant tornado there. So again, this is a tornado that touched down earlier in New Hope, Mississippi.
Right there.
And again, we are watching this with great interest. I've got a lot of video coming in on my feed as well. Might be the same video that you're seeing there on the television side. But again, this is a tornado from the storm that is now in Pickens County, Alabama, and moving up into southern Lamar County, Alabama. So again, we encourage everybody that is listening to us in that part of the state to be in a good, safe place until these storms pass.
And we may have this thing ramping back up a little bit, James. And looking at it from the Columbus radar, not so much, looking at it from the Birmingham radar, we get a shot from the south here. The Birmingham